Hi, I'm Karen Swenson in the King's Room of the Rex Den, and I'll be your host as we take a look at the history, beauty, artwork, and philanthropy of the one and only Rex, King of Carnival, as the storied organization celebrates its 150th anniversary. Today's episode explores the very origins of the King of Carnival and the tremendous legacy of a small group of civic-minded businessmen who wanted to do something to help New Orleans recover during a time of need. The year was 1872. The Civil War had recently ended, and New Orleans, once the second largest city in the United States, was struggling to stay relevant.
In the 1870s, New Orleans had gone through a lot that was unsettling. You had the Civil War, then Reconstruction, and then the divisiveness that struck the whole country. New Orleans had been through a period of decline, uncertainty.
It was a time that New Orleans was trying to reconnect with the rest of its peer cities around the world, and in terms of business, in terms of commerce, in terms of culture. New Orleans was a city that had been one of the richest cities in the world, and a commercial center not just of America, but of the world. To be able to try to move back into some semblance of normality was a real challenge.
There were gangs and, miscreants running around the streets on Carnival.
Got really not just rowdy, but violent, where people would use the secrecy of the mask to commit crimes. And even if you had 10 witnesses, you didn't know who it was. It got so bad, young kids were actually putting lime in bags and throwing it at people. And they wouldn't just mess up their suit, it could actually hurt them. So the press said, you know what, this is an undignified celebration and belongs to the past. Let's end Mardi Gras.
Rex's founders were young men in their 30s and 40s. They had an enthusiasm for their city. They had an optimism about using the cultural and the historic elements of the city to help it come back. Rex's founders saw a need for something that pulled together the daytime rhythms and celebrations of Carnival, which had become quite unruly.
Instead of these people roaming the streets all over, let's have a collection of them together. We'll publish a time when they can all meet and be a part of a bigger whole.
That's how Rex is born. It's a way to say, we're all in this together. We can have something that is a common ground of civic pride.
So, by February of 1872, you've got a group of civic-minded men who want to do something fun to help New Orleans recover from the Civil War and promote the city as it moves into a new era of prosperity. But how do you pull together discordant maskers, unruly legislatures, and divided governments? That was a job for a king.
The celebration of Carnival goes back past the Middle Ages, and part of that has always been the creation of royalty, and that was true in New Orleans. When Rex's founders met in the lobby of the St. Charles Hotel and imagined this new King of Carnival, this new organization, they knew they had to have that powerful figure, and the invention of Rex, Latin for king, not just the King of Rex, because that wasn't the purpose, but it was the King of Carnival.
One aspect of Mardi Gras that always amuses me is that, like in the European carnivals, you needed kings, you needed royalty. And I think it was because we were all a little bit uncomfortable with our politicians and the divisiveness of how we were being governed, and that notion of having a benevolent king that issued orders and this fantasy of royalty helped pull Mardi Gras together.
Rex, the King of Carnival, did what kings do. He started issuing edicts and commandments. And Rex's founders included several newspapermen, so they were very good at not only creating copy, but making sure that it got published. Those published edicts commanded people not only to form up to make the first Rex parade, but also commanded schools to close, commanded businesses to close, commanded people to fly the royal colors of purple, green, and gold. Every day there would be new messages and responses, and over the first those couple of weeks, that built interest and it built an excitement about the coming of the King of Carnival.
If you need to heal, create a celebration. If you need order, create a king. Simple enough, but the legacy of what those gentlemen did in the lobby of the St. Charles Hotel back in 1872 still defines what New Orleans is today.
Really, the Rex organization was the first Convention and Visitors Bureau, if you want to put the thought that we were inviting people to come to the city of New Orleans to see this new celebration that we called the Rex Parade. The owners of the train companies used the opportunity to take the Rex organization to sell tickets to come to the city of New Orleans and enjoy Mardi Gras.
So Rex really put Mardi Gras on the map, and every year since, people come not just to see Rex, but to see a celebration that they helped give birth to, really.
Only New Orleans can do Mardi Gras the right way, as we like to say, because it is the best way to celebrate life. All cultures, all neighborhoods, everyone coming together, and people come from all over the world to participate in that.
I think Rex helped inspire so many other parades, so many other organizations, and so it's become, for more than a century, part of the fabric of New Orleans, what brings people here from far away, but also what brings people back who were born here.
Well, we've only had 3 carnival organizations that have been in existence for 150 years, and only one of them still parades. But it's more than the longevity. It's not just the quantity, it's the quality of what this organization does and who they are and what they stand for. They're not trying to be better than anybody else, but there's a reason Rex is called the King of Carnival. And in my mind, it's the finest example of what Mardi Gras is.
What a remarkable history and an incredible legacy. Please join me in future episodes as we take a deep dive into the beauty and artistry of the Rex organization, also known by its real name, the School of Design, as well as the immense sense of civic spirit and philanthropy summed up by its 150-year-old motto, Pro Bono Publico, for the public good. I'm Karen Swenson. Thank you for joining me. Hail Rex!